area in Arusha ready for the construction of the court. Bakari Msuya has more.
The ceremony of handing over the site has been led by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador Dr. Samuel Shelukindo, who hands over the area on behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Kumkabidhi mkandarasi kwa ajili ya kuanza ujenzi.
Laki Laki is a special area for construction of all these international institutions and regional organizations. As you know, Arusha is an international city, so this area will have many buildings, but this will be modern. Today we have come to officially hand over the contractor to start the work, which will take about 2 years.
The president of the African Court of Human and People's Rights, Judge Imani Aboud, says she is grateful for the step taken by the Tanzanian government to bestow the area that will be used for the construction of the court.
Sisi kama mahakama ya Afrika,
we have happily received something that we have been waiting for many years, so that we can have our own building that is permanent for the court. We also thank the government of the United Republic of Tanzania for reaching this stage.
The Arusha Regional Commissioner, John Mongela, thanks the government for fulfilling the promise to build the court in the country, which will bring many opportunities to the residents of Arusha region.
Sisi kama mkoa tunashukuru, mradi umesubiriwa kwa miaka karibu 16-17.
This project has been anticipated for about 16 or 17 years. The government decided this area of Laki Laki would be area of international organizations and institutions. Arusha is the center of law in Africa. Various courts are here, so we must be proud as a country. We assure the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation and the African Court itself that we will fulfill our duty to ensure that this project is completed, and if there is any challenge, we will be ready to solve it.
Tuna nafasi ya kuitatua, sisi tutakuwa tayari wakati wote.
In 2005, the African Union established the African Court of Human and People's Rights, and Tanzania showed willingness to host the court. Since then, the government has been completing various documentation procedures to allocate land for the construction.
Thank you very much, Bakari Msuya. The Ministry of Health has started the implementation of the presidential directive to build a new regional referral hospital in Ukerewe district in Mwanza region to provide specialized medical services to the locals. It's a report by Reginald Desika, read to you by Lulua Mohammed.
Health Minister Umi Mwalimu made the revelation during her visit to inspect the 16-hectare area located in the village of Bulamba in Ukerewe district. She adds that the construction of the hospital is expected to begin before the end of the 2022-2023 budget. Ukerewe is an island, and during the night there's no ferry, so the president has had the need of the people of Ukerewe and has agreed to build a new regional referral hospital in this district of Ukerewe. The health minister's visit started at the office of the Ukerewe district commissioner and ended in a public meeting in the village of Bulamba, where the hospital is being built. We will start with specialists in 4 fields: a surgeon, an orthopedic surgeon, a gynecologist, and a pediatrician. These are the ones we will start with, but we will also need an anesthesia specialist and a radiation specialist. The regional referral hospital in Ukerewe district is expected to provide specialized services for the residents of the islands and the neighboring areas of the Mara region.
We will no longer have to board boats and rush our patients to Mwanza while they are in bad condition. Now our patients will get this expert service in this district of Ukerewe.
Ukerewe district is made up of 38 islands, 15 of them as residential areas and 23 as temporary residences for fishermen.
Now, from Mwanza region, let's head over to Morogoro, where the Morogoro Regional Commissioner, Adam Malima, says he plans to improve production of sisal crop in the region, targeting to reach 20,000 tons, insisting that the crop is crucial in the production of various products that will help eliminate the use of plastic bags. He made the revelation during handing over of the regional office from the former Regional Commissioner, Fatma Mwasa, who has now been transferred to Kagera region. Here's a report by Monica Riampawe, read to you by Lelua Mohammed.
The sisal is one of the many commercial crops in Tanzania, and it is an important crop used in making various products. Now, the new Morogoro Regional Commissioner, Adam Malima, plans to improve its production, targeting to add its contribution to the national economy.
At the current price, good sisal is 4 million per ton. 20,000 ton is 80 billion. And if you talk about 3% of 80 billion, that is 24 billion shillings. The sisal crop alone will bring 24 billion shillings of local income to the region.
Handing over the office, Fatuma Mwasa, who is now the new Kagera Regional Commissioner, says that the government continues to allocate funds to implement various development projects in the region, and currently there are projects for the expansion of the Mindu Dam and the construction of new Kidunda Dam, whose construction will cost the government more than 300 billion shillings.
These projects are 100% feasible, but on the part of the municipality, we have set aside an area for the creation of an industrial park for young people and the budget. The aim is to ensure that these young people with self-employment problems find employment.
The Morogoro Regional Commissioner, Adam Malima, said that he has spoken to the various public and private institutions in the region on how to continue to promote the region economical and how to improve the relations between the government and the development stakeholders.
That was a story that was read to you by Bakari Msuya and not Lelua Mohammed. Lake Tanganyika Ports Manager Edward Mabula says the ports around Lake Tanganyika plan to increase efficiency in cargo transportation to the neighboring countries like the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Burundi to reach 500,000 tons compared to the current 273,000 tons. It was giving an update on the expansion of ports around Lake Tanganyika, which upon completion is expected to cost approximately 108 billion shillings. Rehema Sababili has more.
Kigoma Port is the oldest port among 18 ports around Lake Tanganyika, with the capacity to handle about 1,100,000 tons of cargo currently. Edward Mabula, who is the manager in charge of all ports around Lake Tanganyika from Tanzania's side, says 48% of the cargo saved by all ports of Kigoma is from the port of Dar es Salaam to the DRC Congo and Burundi.
Set target of handling cargo is 500,000 tons, and of course we have been doing very well on that one. So far, until this May, we have performed up to 273,000, and we expect after completion of this, I should say 3 projects, the Ujiji, the Kibirizi, and the cargo terminal or Kigoma Port, will be able to double our performance, and we'll be able to reach that one.
Despite huge transformation and improvements, some customs stakeholders complained about delays in the cargo clearance.
If you see, we have a badge here of 12 days, and we incur the cost of dockage and the TPA collect it. But why the TPA collect it? But the someone will let us as a shipping agent and the CFA to suffer is TRC, which think we need them to cooperate their institute to make sure we do we much as we appreciate.
There is a big infrastructure continue in Kalemi and Kabimba, so many cargo will come, which is heavy. As for now, the maximum capacity of our cranes was 60 tons, I guess. So maybe they need to bring more machines for the projects.
The Ports Improvements Project involved the expansion of docking area and building of passengers waiting area as well. Reporting from Kigoma region, Rehema Sebabili, TBC News.
Thank you, Rehema, for that report. In other news, the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, DSE, has provided capacity building training for journalists to improve their capability in the stock and capital markets related issues. The DSE head of business development, Ibrahim Mshindo, says the media industry has a responsibility to provide accurate information that will help the citizens to make the right decisions at the right time.
Tumeona hiyo ndio njia moja kuu rahisi.
We have seen it as a main, simple and powerful way to convey important information related to the operation of stock market to the public. Through this, we believe that the public that need this information will make various decisions related to investment matters. In order for the media to work efficiently, they need important economic information because until now, the country has not had a media responsible for the provision of economic and financial information. Therefore, I believe that by providing this training, they will contribute to the accessibility of media that can show the economic and financial information is more basic.
Iwe ni vyombo vya kielektroniki au vyombo vya print media.
Some of the participants of the training say that continuous training on the stock and capital markets related subjects will improve the work done by the Tanzanian journalists.
The training provided today will help the economic and financial journalists reach Tanzanians inside and outside the country to get accurate and timely financial and economic information.
Sahihi na kwa wakati za fedha na uchumi.
Now let's take off to Namibia, where the Africa Youth and Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge ends today. The three-day summit gathered youth from around Africa, targeting to provide a transformative platform for the youth, startups, entrepreneurs, students, and small enterprises for income generation and career development. Margaret Getty has been attending the summit, and here she highlights some of the key success stories of the summit.
Today marks the last day of Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge. Topics have been discussed and connections have been made here in the beautiful city of Swakopmund.
The event has been successful for a couple of reasons. We have yesterday I said about 38, but when they check today, it's not only Africa, about 52 countries or more have really attended virtually and physically, and that is another measure of great success. So in a nutshell, I think it's successful. But for me, the success is not necessarily what happens here. The success is measured by what happened thereafter, the guys who say they've networked.
Furthermore, gender issues have been raised during the discussions with the aim of reducing the gap between men and women concerning opportunities found in the tourism industry across Africa.
This is such an amazing platform to be here, and it's something that is uniting us as Africa in terms of the tourism sector. And I mean, we've had a lot of networking in this place from people from different companies.
Discussions and trainings about how startups can attract investors in their businesses have been provided to the small businesses. Also, the use of technological advancements is among the key issues that have been emphasized in the summit.
Youth need to understand the potential of digital platform and digital technologies in creating innovative tourism experiences and services. For example, youth need to take advantage of technology. For example, one of the things they can do is having an online presence and strong digital marketing so that they can be able to reach a wider audience globally.
I think differentiation is important, and for me I think the key thing is don't focus too much on making your product too different that it makes it difficult for you. So even if you make something different in the process, they both sell chicken, but the recipes are different.
It has been 3 successful days of the 5th Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit here in Swakopmund, Namibia, where issues concerning tourism have been put into table in order to find solutions of different matters concerning tourism field, especially with youth here in Africa. Reporting from Swakopmund, this is Margaret Getty.
Thank you very much, Margaret Getty, for that report. The ancient practice of terraced farming has been elevated to an art form in Same, Kilimanjaro. Farmers here have transformed steep slopes into cascading masterpieces, using the land as a canvas for a harmonious blend of crops. These terraced fields are not only a feast for the eyes, but also serve as a testament to the sustainable agricultural practices employed by the local communities. Let us join Kefa Igilo for this report.
Welcome to Same, Kilimanjaro, Land where terraced farming has not only sustained generations, but has transformed into a captivating tapestry, inviting admiration and awe. The ancient art of terraced farming involves shaping the land into a series of steps, allowing farmers to cultivate crops on steep slopes, effectively managing erosion and water distribution. But here in Same, Kilimanjaro, it has become an art form, a symphony of human creativity and nature's abundance. Travelers from around the world are drawn to these terraced fields, captivated by the sheer beauty and the stories they hold. These fields are not just patches of land, but living testament to the community's resilience, wisdom, and deep connection with their surroundings. As visitors traverse these remarkable terraced landscapes, they witness the symbiotic relationship between nature and human intervention. The terraces act as a canvas for kaleidoscope of crops, creating a striking mosaic of colors, textures, and scents that change with the seasons. Each season paints a different picture on this living canvas. Same Kilimanjaro's terraced farming has woven together the threads of nature, culture, and sustainability into an extraordinary tapestry. It's a living testament to the resilience and wisdom of the people who call this place home, and a reminder of the beauty that emerges when humans and nature dance in harmony. Kefa Igilo, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Kefa Igilo. Now, before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Dorothy Murray and read to you by Gloria Michael.
At least 9 people were killed in Senegal in clashes between riot police and supporters of opposition leader Othman Sonko following a court sentencing him to 2 years in jail, the country's interior ministry said. Clashes broke out after yesterday's verdict, which may disqualify Sonko from contesting next year's presidential election. Speaking on national television on a Friday, the Senegalese Interior Minister Antoine Diome has said cars and buses were set on fire in the capital Dakar and disturbances were reported elsewhere, including the city of Ziguinchor, where Sonko has been mayor since 2022. Sonko, who is 48 years old, did not attend the hearing of an alleged sexual assault where he was accused of raping a woman who worked in a massage parlor in 2021 when she was 20 and making death threats against her. The court cleared Sonko of rape but found him guilty of separate offense described in the penal code as immoral behavior towards individuals younger than 21. The Justice Ministry said the opposition leader could now be taken to prison at any time. Police remained stationed around his home in Dakar as unrest flared in the capital and elsewhere after the verdict. Sudan's military parties clashed in the capital overnight and into Friday morning after talks aimed at maintaining a ceasefire and alleviating a humanitarian crisis collapsed. Fighting were reported a day after the United States has imposed the first sanctions related to the conflict in Sudan, warning that it will hold it accountable, though undermining peace in the Northeast African country. The sanctions targeted 2 firms associated with the Sudanese Armed Forces and 2 other linked to the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said in a statement that through sanction, U.S. will cut off key financial flows to both the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese Army. And the controversial pastor Paul Mackenzie of Good News International Church, implicated in the Shakahola Kalti Forest massacre, has appeared in a court in Mombasa after spending a month in police custody. Mackenzie, together with the 17 other suspects, are accused of influencing his followers to starve to death, and so far, Kenyan police have recovered more than 240 bodies exhumed in Shakahola Forest. The High Court had allowed police to continue detaining Mackenzie for a month so as to complete investigations in his alleged culty activities.
That was international news prepared by Ramadan Mpenda and read to you by Bakari Msuya. Now let's have a look at sports news. In sports news, Minister of Culture, Arts and Sports, Dr. Pindi Chana, says that motivation and passion of young African players is higher and hoping that they will beat the host USM Alger in the second leg match of CAF Confederation Cup final and come back home with a trophy. Speaking in Algeria after visiting young African players in Algiers, Dr. Chana calls for Tanzanian football fans to pray for the team so that they can do well in the match and win the Africa Trophy for the first time in history.
There will be a big surprise. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has promised huge prizes, and according to protocol, she will give them out herself. Therefore, you should understand that if we take the trophy back home tomorrow, there are prizes awaiting you. As the Ministry of Sports, we also have a prize for them, never mind the flight to Algeria and the 20 million shillings. That is very little. Big things are coming.
Young Africans plays USM Alger, hoping that they will turn around the 2-1 defeat suffered in the first leg match of the CAF Confederation Cup final held at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium last Sunday in Dar es Salaam. In other sports news, the Tanzania Tennis Association Vice President Rajabu Bori says the Tanzanian tennis national team has a great chance to do well in the Davis World Cup tournament to be held in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, from June 19th to June 24th. Bori says that the experience they gained in the previous World competitions gives them great ambition to finish in the top positions in the competition.
They need to understand that we are all behind them. To play with full confidence. This is the second time. The first time they finished 6 and out of 12 something, so it was the first time. And now this is the second time they're going to play. We need to achieve more in order to drop from 5 to come to 4, 4 to 3, which will allow us to play even a tougher competition in Europe.
The tennis national team is continuing in its training at the Gymkhana in Dar es Salaam, gearing up for the Davis World Cup tournament in which 14 tennis national teams are expected to participate in the competition. And that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.